Hi, my name's Emma, and I'm a huge book nerd.
You're my library, always open for business.
My birthday happened earlier this month. I have very kind friends who know that I love to read, and a bunch of them pitched in to get me a gift card to one of my favorite bookstores in Chicago called Semicolon Bookstore. It is a Black woman-owned bookstore, which is awesome. I will link them down below if you would like to check them out, which I strongly encourage you to do. But I used that gift card to get a bunch of books that I've been dying to read. I'm going to show you a couple other books that I picked up recently as well. With my gift card to Semicolon Books, I got 6 books. The first book that I grabbed is James Baldwin's If Beale Street Could Talk, because I have not read any James Baldwin. He's a really important, influential writer and activist and poet and playwright. So I knew I wanted to read something by him, and If Beale Street Could Talk is one that's been on my list for a really long time. This book is basically a love story between two young people, Tish, who's 19 years old, and Fani, who's a young sculptor. And that's kind of all I know about it, but I'm really excited to read it. Next, I got a book that I have been dying to pick up for forever, and for whatever reason, I just haven't yet. It is My Sister the Serial Killer by Oyin Colm Braithwaite. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. I looked it up. She speaks very quickly. This book is one of the few thrillers by Black authors that I've been able to find. Side note, if you know of mystery thrillers by Black authors, please let me know, because my coworker and I have been searching for them and we can't find many. I know there's one that Books and Lala mentioned recently on her channel that's a YA mystery thriller, but sounds really interesting. I'm gonna find what it's called so I can spread the word in case you're also a big thriller fan. It's called One of the Good Ones. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I know it's a murder mystery thriller and it's by a Black author. But yeah, I'm trying to diversify my reading overall, and one of my favorite genres is mystery thriller. It's what I reach for when I just want something like really fast-paced and entertaining. At least from what I can find, there are not many by Black authors, especially in that Ruth Ware kind of vein of thriller. I'm not as into detective mystery thrillers. I'm more into mystery thrillers that follow somebody else involved. So anyways, dying to read this. So basically this book is about a young woman whose sister is maybe a psychopath, and she keeps murdering her boyfriends, and her sister is helping her clean up the mess. So that premise is fascinating to me. The being close with someone who's a serial killer is very interesting. I truly cannot wait. Next is Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi, and I am not one to go for YA fantasy. It's just not my genre. I'm not generally a big fan of it, but my coworkers raved to me about this book, and I've heard about it nonstop on Bookstagram and on BookTube. It does sound interesting to me, and the people who I have heard speak of it say that even if you're not super into YA fantasy, this is still just an excellent book. It is about this young girl. She comes from a background of magi, and under the most recent rule, the king wanted to eradicate all magic, so he gets rid of as many magi as he can, and magic is forbidden and all of this. And so it's about our main character finding her magic and owning it and fighting back. I'm really excited to read it. I feel like I got it at the perfect time of year because it's getting me excited. I might save this, maybe, we'll see. I might save it for fall, for when it starts to get colder, because when I do like to read fantasy, it tends to be when it's colder. And I really like the quick blurb on the back cover. It says, "They killed my mother, they took our magic, they tried to bury us, now we rise." And I'm just like, this sounds So timely and poignant. Speaking of fantasy, I really committed with this next one and I got all 3 books in the series. It's a risk, but I think it will pay off. So, what am I doing with my hands? I'm like dancing. I need to stop. I bought the entire Broken Earth trilogy by N.K. Jemisin and I have no regrets. I'm gonna pull these out individually so you can look at all of them. So the first book is the 5th season, and I have heard nothing but incredible things about all 3 of these books, and one thing to me that is so remarkable about these is all 3 of the books in this trilogy won the Hugo Award. It's, I believe, the only fantasy series to have ever done that, where every book in the series has won the Hugo Award. So it's kind of a big deal. To be perfectly frank, I don't remember anything about what this series is actually about. The back of this says, "This is the way the world ends for the last time." It starts with the Great Red Rift, across the heart of the world's sole continent, spewing ash that blots out the sun. It starts with death, with a murdered son and a missing daughter. It starts with betrayal, and long dormant wounds rising up to fester. This is the stillness, a land familiar with catastrophe, where the power of the earth is wielded as a weapon, and where there is no mercy. I don't know what it is that intrigues me so much about this book. Part of it's the cover, part of it is just how much I've heard about it. I said I'd show you all the covers, I will. The second one is the Obelisk Gate. The third one is the Stone Sky. And then this book I did not get from Semicolon. This is a book that I put on my wish list that I sent to my long distance best friend, and she got it for me, so I'm very excited. It is the 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. Woohoo! Again, I cannot wait to read this. I'll probably read it in October. The thing that excites me about this is it's basically like And Then There Were None situation, but with reincarnation and also Groundhog's Day. Evelyn Hardcastle will die every day until Aidan Bishop can identify her killer and break the cycle. But every time the day begins again, Aidan wakes up in the body of a different guest, and some of his hosts are more helpful than others. I've heard amazing things about this. I think that it is going to be so much fun and the perfect spooky book. So thank you very much, Emily. I'm dying to get to this. Then I have 5 more books to show you that I've accumulated from various places since we last spoke. First is Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. I think this might be my next read after I'm currently reading another one in this stack, but I think this might be my next read. Again, spooky time. I'm getting a little ahead of myself because it's still August. But this book is a thriller horror. This book is about this character who gets a frantic letter from her cousin, and she goes to stay with her cousin in this house with this man that her cousin just married. And the house starts to like invade her dreams, and also the man is super creepy and bad things might be happening there. And that's kind of all I know about it, and it sounds super spooky ooky, and I'm really excited. I mean, the cover is frickin' gorgeous. I mean, just look at that like maroon and dark green. The next book that I picked up is Homegoing by Ya Gassi. This is the book that I'm currently reading. I already started reading this, and I'm only 70 pages in and I am blown away. I don't know what to say about this book because it's just I don't have words for how I'm feeling about it right now. So hopefully I can, sum up things better toward the end. But to tell you what this is about, it is about 2 half-sisters. One is the wife of a slave trader in the Cape Coast Castle, which is a slave trade castle that still exists today. It still stands today. And the other half-sister is a slave in the castle until she is shipped to the United States. And it follows, I believe, hundreds of years. I think it's multi-generational but I'm so early on right now. I'm not positive about that. This has been on my TBR for a really long time. I'm really, really glad that I picked it up now. I mean, I just started reading it today, so my impressions are very fresh. It's astounding. I'm gonna stop talking about descriptions on this because I haven't even finished it yet, and this is a haul video, not a wrap up. But yes, currently reading this, thoughts to come. And then I went to the thrift store the other day and I picked up 3 books. The first one that I found is Boy Snowbird by Helen Oyeyemi. First of all, look at the cover of this book. It's just phenomenal. Second of all, I have been really curious about reading books from this author for a little while now. Apparently she writes these sort of surrealist fiction books, which I tend to really enjoy, like just things with like a little bit of a magical element. I know Neil Gaiman does something like that sometimes also. This book is a retelling of Snow White. It's a multi-generational story about this woman named Boy, who in 1953 moves to Massachusetts and gets married, becomes a stepmother to his daughter Snow. And then Boy has a daughter named Bird, who is darker skinned, and Bird's birth exposes them as African Americans who they had been passing for white, apparently. And so now they have to confront that colorism and racism and deal with that as a family. I love the cover. I'm intrigued by the magical realism, by the Snow White retelling, by yet another Black female author that I have not read from yet. All of these things are like buzzwords for me. Okay. Next, I picked up A Visit from the Goon Squad by Jennifer Egan. Honestly, I know very little about this book. I picked it up because it won the Pulitzer Prize, and I'm thinking I have a video idea that has to do with that. And that's all I'm gonna say. Basically, it's about this like band, and it's about their lives. I don't know much more than that. To be honest, my voice is getting tired from talking. And then the last book that I picked up is Bad Feminist by Roxane Gay. Roxane Gay is a rock star. I've been reading more of her essays just online lately, and Bad Feminist has been on my list for forever. I have Not That Bad, which is an essay collection edited by Roxane Gay, and I think there's an essay of hers in it, I think. But this one's actually all her writing, which I'm really excited about. And I have heard nothing but phenomenal things. I feel like I don't really need to explain what this one is about. It's an essay collection and it's called Bad Feminist. So those are all of the books that I got for my birthday or around my birthday, and I'm so excited to read them. That's it from me for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. If there's a book here that you are especially excited for me to read, let me know down in the comments so maybe I can bump that up in the lineup. And please like and subscribe and come back for more sometime. Thank you so much for watching. Bye! Mwah.
Now I was headed